Now, what is the meaning of when the Atmakaraka is in the Scorpio sign or the Vrishchika Rashi as it is called in Vedic astrology? Now, remember, the Atmakaraka in a certain sign is not about the what you're trying to achieve, but this is more about the how part, how you're trying to achieve. So, which house the Atmakaraka is in represents the what part. The sign in which it is placed is the how part. So, when the Atmakaraka, the planet with the highest degrees from Gemini perspective or Gemini approach, is about what is the main objective that or main characteristic of the soul in trying to obtain the objective while the Atmakaraka is in the Scorpio sign. So mind you, this is more about the transformation that you're bringing about, the change that you're bringing about in society itself, in your surrounding. So this is the main characteristic is very, very intense. But at the same time, sometimes this can be a very private goal rather than something which is a very public goal. So many times people may quietly write a book, write an analysis, write a thesis, do a PhD, publish their work, and do it quietly and then announce to the world. So sometimes when you're taking people along also, you may not share all your cards. Sometimes the transformation may not happen if you're a little secretive. Atmakaraka in the Scorpio sign is also to keep the cards close to your chest. Whichever larger goal you're trying to manifest to your soul, you need to keep it more private or keep it or share it with people who you can trust or very few people, because this is a very powerful manifestation. This is very, very emotionally deep, because the soul is getting connected to the transformative energy of the Scorpio sign. So the main drive for you is to have your inner mastery over yourself. Unless you master over yourself, the emotional mastery that you have, the balanced mastery that you have over your own self, over your own fears, which Scorpio represents, the deep down fears that it represents, you may not be able to obtain the higher objective. So overcome your fears, overcome your challenges, overcome your issues, overcome the fears that you have if I'm not able to achieve this. And so the main challenge area is to not to be too controlling of your objective or to be too obsessive of your objective, or to be over secretive also. You need to be secretive, but you can share it with a few people who are like-minded people. So for example, 2 or 3 scientists working on something which will be good for the humanity, but they are not sharing what they are working on. They'll work on it for a few years, maybe use some help from outside, and then one fine day announce their discoveries, announce their inventions to the world. So otherwise this can bring a lot of emotional volatility if your goal is lost, if the secrecy also is lost. So the main developmental goal is to embrace that you can sometimes be vulnerable to outside influences, failures also. So to surrender to the fear and to overcome the fear by very strong commitment to the goal, and to have a strong emotional connection to the goal, and be ready for emotional rebirth, which Scorpio sign represents, being the depth of the 8th house. And so that's where the spiritual elevation will also come when you achieve your objective based on which house it is in. By being able to control your fear, by being able to control your emotions, and to clearly transform not only the goal that you're trying to achieve in the world, but also transformation of your emotional being, transformation of your fears, transformation of the innate desires that you have, and to surrender to the divine. Then the Atmakaraka in Scorpio will help you obtain your objective.